What's good, everybody? Welcome into Betting the PFL with Coach and Parker. And you better believe night number 4 has arrived. So we have taken the show on location here in Orlando because Thursday night we were back at Universal Studios. What an incredible venue and host they have been for our first 4 nights of our PFL World Tournament. Now, after the first 3 events, the heavyweights and the light heavyweights, they better absolutely bring it on Thursday. And we have an incredible main event at 205. Now, I am the coach, and I am one half of this. Before I bring in Ian, we got to set the stage and set the table. Here is our schedule for Thursday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on ESPN Plus. It's the pre-fight show. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, also on ESPN Plus, it's the early card. Then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the main card on ESPN2 and on ESPN Plus. And the momentum that we feel here at the PFL is nothing short of amazing. So far, through 24 fights, 17 have ended in finishes. 24 spots have now been taken for the semifinals coming up in June. That means 8 more are up for grabs this Thursday between the 205s and the big boys. So now, let's bring in my partner. My man from ESPN, the best MMA capper in the business, the Duck, Ian Parker. Now, Ian, before I even ask you about the main event or anything about this card, I've got a couple of questions, really quick, kind of rapid fire if you're cool with it.
Let's go. Always.
All right. So at PFL 3, 2 weeks ago, did you or did you not take the first 3 fights of the night in your long shot parlay?
You know what's funny? I did do that, and I didn't even realize they were the first 3 when we did our long shot parlay. So that's what made it even better. But yes, I did.
Now, did you or did you not make it a plus 2,000 or 20 to 1 or higher?
You are telling no lies. That is what happened. Yes.
And did it or did it not cash about 45 minutes into the broadcast, and everybody in the house was watching you run around like an absolute fool?
Yeah. That sounds about right. I was doing laps around the cage, skipping a little bit as well if I want to really throw myself under that proverbial bus. But yes, that is exactly what happened.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And when you have fighters that are out there understanding they've been picked by Ian Parker, it adds a little something for them. I got to be honest. They don't say it, but I'll say it for them. All right, Ian, let's get right into it. Let's start with the main event. We're not handicapping it yet. We're just talking about 2 guys that have been around for a minute, and they have big names in this division in MMA. And I'm talking about Phil Davis and Razor Rob. Does the winner of this fight in the main event on Thursday night, does that put them into the favorite category for the 205s?
I think it can. I think one of them stylistically may be a bigger favorite than the other if they were to move on. I think Rob Wilkinson, because of his striking and takedown defense compared to someone in Phil Davis that would need to be really dominant in their wrestling. However, if he can dominate in his wrestling, my answer is yes. If he can't, then my answer would be no.
What about the heavyweights? Is this more of a wider open division?
I would say outside of maybe 1 or 2 matchups, this is the most well-balanced, closest I've seen in betting lines in a very long time and in competitiveness. So I'm really excited. And to the big boys, please show up because everybody else absolutely has. And we're looking for knockouts, and we know the heavyweights are capable of it.
It's been amazing. We have met with almost every single fight team, it's felt like, through the first 3 weeks, and all of them are like, don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. And we haven't had to. A lot of pressure on these 2 divisions coming up on Thursday night. All right, let's get into it now, and let's focus on the main card. Let's start with that main event from a handicapping perspective. Davis, Razor Rob, who do you think here has the advantage?
Well, I'm a little surprised. The betting line right now, Razor Rob at this moment in time is sitting between a minus 140 and a minus 160, depending on the book at use, which to me shows that that's where the money's going to sit, whether more money comes in or it doesn't. And I think Razor Rob gets it done here. Look, when you talk about age in MMA, Phil Davis goes, If you watch Origins, which was very well done, he talks about how age is not a factor, and he's going to get a chance to prove that. But when it comes to Phil Davis, he has to wrestle. The issue I have, Coach, and why I'm going with Rob Wilkinson, Wilkinson has not good takedown defense, but phenomenal takedown defense, and he's the much better striker. I think you're getting extremely good value on Razor Rob Wilkinson. I'm going to go with him.
I think one thing you notice, too, is these 2 guys, the reason they're in the main event, they both understand what it's like to win and also just compete when there is a lot on the line. Now, my question to all of you at home is, do you want to bet on the PFL? Do you want to shop around? Do you want to get the best lines? Well, we are very, very excited about this new partnership that we are using this week. Next Bets. Go to nextbets.com/play the PFL. Sports betting and also daily fantasy sports. There is nothing more fun than playing fantasy and MMA together. You can sign up, claim exclusive PFL bonuses, and make your picks right now. And utilize the show. Put every tool in your toolbox that you have at your disposal. All right, Ian Parker, let's move to the co-main event of the evening. In the heavyweight division, Valentin Moldavsky and Sergey Belistini. And I will make a public service announcement for those that may be new to the MMA betting scene. In the heavyweight division, you are always one punch away from a finish. Your thoughts on this one?
Well, Moldavsky, if he didn't get injured last year, I think would have won the whole thing. So that's not going to change my perspective this year, although he does have some much bigger opponents, and he is on the smaller side of heavyweight. He's fighting someone, Belistani, who we also saw last year. Good striker, good durability, tends to slow down as the fight goes on. I like Moldavsky here. That line may get a little high because of who he has fought in the past, and Belistani is still a little bit on the up and up. So I would go Moldavsky to win and maybe even go over 1.5 rounds. I think if he gets a finish, it's towards the ends of round 2, early round 3. But he is the better and more well-rounded fighter. We're going to go with him there.
All right, very good. Let's stay on that main card. Shoeface, he's a PFL veteran taking on Carl Moore at 205. Your thoughts?
Look, Shoeface has got a lot to prove. Last year, he was a favorite to do it. He won by sub. All he had to do was win to get in, and he lost to Alex Polizzi, and he was a huge favorite. He's fighting someone in Moore that where Shoeface has the advantage is where he always has the advantage. It's his jiu-jitsu. He's got to throw that overhand right or that check hook that leads to his double leg. Shoeface gets redemption here. Take him to win. If you want to get greedy, which it's betting, let's get greedy. Take him to win by submission.
As my man on another show that I do says, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Now, 3 of the 4 on the main card are going to be in that light heavyweight division. The first fight on the main card is Carl Albrechtsen and Simeon Powell. How do you see this one?
I think this fight's going to be pretty competitive. Albrechtsen was pretty solid in Bellator, well-rounded. But there's something about Simeon Powell that we've seen. You know, he is essentially PFL homegrown, whether it's here, PFL Europe. He's got power. He's a good striker. Even when he's down, he's not out. And I believe that his knockout power and his I don't want to call it hesitation. I'd like to call it fight IQ and patience. He doesn't rush in, but he was supposed to win PFL Europe, and he did not. He's getting a chance at redemption after a win since PFL Europe that was a little bit closer. Time to establish dominance, Powell. I'm giving it to you. Let's go.
You mentioned homegrown, and real quick, I think it's really important for the PFL as we kind of take this right turn or this left turn into a new journey or a new way of doing things, that not only do we establish these young stars, but when we sign these young stars, that they start being victorious right out of the gate. How important do you think it is for PFL not only to have these young stars like a Thad Gene or whoever else, but also be behind them as they get these big wins in a tournament or in one of the events overseas?
I mean, it's everything. It's how you build this into a success across the board. It's how you create depth in divisions, how you create fun and competitive championships. And also, you're giving guys opportunities that normally wouldn't get this at this stage in their career. So they're finding out very quickly, sink or swim. That goes for a Thad Gene. That goes for a Braga. That goes for a Dalton Rasta. Granted, from Bellator, still considered a prospect. Going out there and destroying Sada Bousi, who's a consistent winner, says a lot here. Simeon Powell can be that guy. We have seen him since he was very green, and then he was supposed to win PFL Europe, gets knocked out, comes back and wins a very tight decision in a very tough fight. Showed that he can overcome adversity here. He is still someone that the spotlight can shine on. So, Coach, it is extremely important that these guys keep shining through and the PFL keep developing these future stars.
Very good. Let's now move to the early card. And this one is somewhat heavyweight heavy, obviously, with the light heavyweights being more on the main card. This is the featured fight on the early card. Alexander Romanov taking on Tim Johnson. Your thoughts?
Oof, no disrespect to Tim Johnson. He is as fun as they get when it comes to human beings and fighters. He is fighting someone, Alexander Romanov. When he went to the UFC, he was on a tear. Lost a couple of fights, but won his last 2, entered free agency, chose to come to the PFL for a fresh start. Coach, this guy is a dominant wrestler. He's got cement in his hand, so when he hits you, you go night-night. This is going to be a round one finish for Alexander Romanov. I strongly believe that. He is one of those fighters that comes out of the gate hot. No better person to do it against than Tim Johnson, who either it's knockout or get knocked out. Romanov gets the finish here.
And this is why people love the heavyweights for a first-round knockout. Now, the first fight of the night in the tournament, I'll make that very clear, Rodrigo Nascimento taking on Ibrahim Babli. Now, this is right out of the gate. And we're going to have, at least right now as we are taping this or recording this, we will have a featured fight before the tournament. But this is the first tournament. Do you think that affects these guys that are all being like the first ones out of the locker room?
Some of them love it. Some of them love to get out there and not wait and have to keep thinking about it. If you ask any fighter, most of them, they want to open up and they want to really start as soon as they get there. The longer you sit there in the back, it's just more time to think about things. That's not always a good thing. It takes longer to warm up. So I think guys like this are going to be pretty excited to come out there and set the tone.
All right, those are all of our straight plays. Do not forget, during the pre-fight show on Thursday night, Ian will be a part of it. We do our long shot parlay. We do our straight bets, but we also do the most popular parlay in all of MMA, and that, of course, is Parker's parlay. Give us a little sneak peek right here, right now.
Well, the odds are going to change, Coach, and we all know that. So we're going to do our best to give you anywhere from 3 to 4 legs. We're going to get those numbers down. So I'll go Moldavsky, I'll go Romanov, I'll go Popov, and I'll even go over 1.5 rounds in the Nascimento Babli fight. I know we don't want to hear that because it's heavyweights, but if you watch Nascimento, he's not a known finisher. Babli is very tough, short, stout, good takedown defense for someone in Nascimento who's a jiu-jitsu black belt, but has gotten better in the striking department. So you get 3 favorites and over 1.5. You will get plus odds there. And as you say, let's get to that cash window.
Well, it's actually the pay window.
Pay window, I know. I had to change it a little bit. Little bit.
Very good. All right, so Thursday, are you going to be in attendance? Where are you going to be at?
I shall be sitting next to you in the same spot we've been the last few weeks, and let's have a night.
Let's just hope Samoa Joe does not give us a choke from behind like last week, the AEW star. He had you a little bit scared, let's be honest. He did.
Not a little bit scared. He's just sitting there with no look on his face. And those type of guys, listen, my dad always said if there was one guy you didn't want to fight in a bar, it was Samoa Joe. And my back was turned to him the whole time. I don't know if he was tailing me or fading me in bets. He just sat there with his arms crossed. Sometimes a smile, some clapping. He terrifies me. He's probably going to be there again.
He probably will be again. All right, let's give you all the information one more time. If you want to bet on the PFL, we encourage you to shop around, and there's one place that you can do it and make it very, very easy on yourself, and that is NextBets. Go to nextbets.com/playPFL. All kinds of offers, bonuses, make your picks right now, all that good stuff. Exciting to have them on board as we head into PFL World Tournament number 4. And the schedule looks like this. The pre-fight show live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The early card, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, both on ESPN Plus, and then the main card at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2 and also ESPN Plus. And Ian and I will be live and in attendance all night long here in Orlando at Universal Studios. That'll do it for now. For Ian Parker, producer man, and our entire team at the PFL, good luck, make some cash, and we'll see you Thursday night at Universal Studios. This has been Betting the PFL with Coach and Parker. Until next time.